Yo, what is up, everybody? Project Itachi here, and you are listening to the GZ Chop Shop podcast, your go-to podcast for everything gaming and tech related. And oh man, we are going to make some people very, very upset with this one. Starfield's out, and I know.
I'm just going to say it. The only people who seem to actually like this game are people who have never played No Man's Sky or Star Citizen, because it's the exact same concept, only somehow worse. Somehow worse.
Yes.
How you manage to, I don't know how they pulled it off. How did they release a game less complete with less things to do and more barren shit than No Man's Sky on release, and people are still happy about it? Granted, it's not like it's getting, high reviews. It's getting it's getting positive reviews, but like 80%. What is it on Steam? I think it was like 83% positive reviews. It's not doing
73
terribly
right now.
73 right now. Okay. But you cannot, no gamer can seriously sit here and say that this game has done anything that any other big space game hasn't done. They promised innovation. They literally promised a space game like no other, and they did not deliver at all. They just gave us another space game. They just gave us another space game, but by Bethesda. I like Bethesda. I like the Bethesda formula, but it's because of Elder Scrolls that I like Bethesda. It's because of the ridiculous glitches and everything that comes with Elder Scrolls. I like Bethesda. Otherwise, I don't like Bethesda. Fallout has like 3 good games. It's a great story. It's a great idea, but their last couple Fallouts weren't that great. And then they come out with this. They hype it up. They make it look like it's going to do what Star Citizen and No Man's Sky wants to do, but can't. It's supposed to be the future of space gaming. And it absolutely was the opposite. And it blows my mind that people are defending this game. And this isn't even about attacking Microsoft. Like, don't promise a game and then put the game out, and the game is nothing that you thought. Did you see? I don't know if you've played it.
No, I want to be very clear. I have not played it.
But look, if you haven't, for anyone who hasn't played it, at least go on and like look at the just look at videos and stuff of the menu screen when you go in and out of space and you try to go in through planets and stuff like that.
It's pretty convoluted.
There's no real animation. You're not really doing it yourself. It's not a space game. It's a lie. You know who pulls this off better? Destiny. When you fly your ship and you leave the planet and you go to another planet, Destiny somehow manages to do it better. And Destiny's not even an in-space game. It's just you just go to other planets in specific spots, but you're not actually flying around space. And Destiny somehow makes it look better. This game is, had they not promoted the game the way they did, and they just said, hey, XYZ, and they were honest about the game, there would have been way less complaints about the game, but they oversold it. That's the problem.
Definitely did. Yeah,
they said things that weren't true. They got everyone's expectations high, and then they released a game that was no better, if not worse, than when No Man's Sky first released.
I'm going to...
That's where they messed up.
I'm going to play devil advocate on Bethesda's half and say, I don't think they themselves overhyped it and they themselves oversold it. For their marketing, they were pretty basic. They had like one ad that was running on where I saw it, YouTube and other streaming places. They had like one ad that they were running. Didn't say much. It just was like basically explore how you want kind of thing. And I was like, that's your basic video game ad. I think the problem comes from every other game Bethesda's released. They've pretty much done the same thing over years. They play that one ad All the Fallouts have done it. Skyrim, when it was at its peak, did it. We all know Bethesda runs a commercial for their games. We know this. What happened now is Bethesda is under new leadership. They're owned by Microsoft. And in this regard, it was the Microsoft community that overhyped the game. If you look at what Bethesda did, Bethesda has done nothing different than what they've always done. But this is their first game. Well, not their first game, but their first big name game, their first triple A RPG single player to come out under their new Microsoft leadership. It was the fans that overhyped and oversold it. Because if you go online and you see where all this comes from, it is always coming from the fan base. Specifically, not even the PC, because, and also this is an argument that was irking the heck out of me. Starfield is not an exclusive. It's a console exclusive, which is a very different thing. People say, well, what does that mean? It's available on PC. To be exclusive means it is available. Mario is exclusive. Zelda is exclusive. Spider-Man, the second one, is a timed exclusive. There are different types of exclusive, and a lot of people are getting this confused. They're like, "Yeah, this is an Xbox exclusive." It's a console exclusive, meaning it goes to one console and no others. But it is also available on PC. There's a very big difference there. Remember that. And it was the Xbox community that was overhyping it because they were so determined, for whatever reason, they've been very determined to rub in everyone's faces that Bethesda is now under their umbrella and they're coming out with this game that's going to be the top game of the year. And it was going to do all these amazing things. And oh my gosh, everyone else is going to be a sad boy because they can't play. And I want to be clear, the Sony fans and the Xbox fans are equally toxic. And I say that as a gamer who's played on both.
No, it's
They're
wild.
both terrible.
It's wild. As a matter of fact, you and me game on more than one game between console and PC, and we had recently determined that PC players are way more chill and fun to be around by a huge margin than console players. Console players, it's like playing with a bunch of teenagers, and it doesn't matter how old they are or anything. It's like playing with a bunch of just shitty teenagers.
Yeah. And we noticed that difference just in how
they're mostly annoying.
Yeah. And we noticed that difference just in how they interact with us in games.
But then like PC players, for the most part, they're just enjoyable. Even if they're not funny, they're just chill.
And we learned that from Elden Ring of all games. With invaders. It's a whole different breed. But the Xbox
like we're just shitty about other things. Like if a game really sucks, we're really shitty about how much that game sucks. And if you're going to talk PC, we're going to be really shitty about the PC when we realize you don't know what you're talking about because you bought a 380 but with an i3 and you somehow thought that computer was going to do amazing because you had a 3080.
Yeah.
But you got also shit like that. Like we'll be elitists about that.
I'm also a firm believer that a lot of people regurgitate what they hear about PC specs without fully understanding what it means, especially when they're trying to prove a point. When like a developer says, "Oh, our game is not at 60 frames per second now," and then someone's like, "Oh yeah, your game's not running it." I'm like, do you understand what that means? Or are you just regurgitating that because that's what everyone talks about?
Oh,
you heard it from one streamer. I can't go down that
rabbit hole. I'm gonna get mad.
So you're just regurgitating, but these numbers to sound intelligent.
You just, I know you're defending Bethesda, and I'm glad you're defending Bethesda to an extent because I do like the company. I like their games for the most part, especially Elden Scrolls. But Elden Scrolls.
I was like, this is the second time you said Elden Scrolls.
I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. Elden Scrolls. That'd be a hell of a mashup. But I don't understand how they had all this time to make this game, and they could have learned from No Man's Sky and their failures. Not, you know, No Man's Sky learned from itself because over the years it turned into a really great game. But you had all the time in the world to learn from that, the failures and the successes of No Man's Sky. So I don't understand how they still made
A Bethesda game?
another Bethesda. Like, I don't understand it.
That's
what it's not a $70 game. It's not.
No, and we have someone, Yuli, who he actively played the game. So have any of you guys actually played the game? Yes. One of our guys
Yuli has played it so much. I have demoed it. I've demoed the game because I was not about to fucking buy that game for $70. I think my understanding was he kind of did the same thing. Oh, he got it on Game Pass.
He got it on Game Pass.
I demoed it. He got it on Xbox Game Pass. Or no, he got on Game Pass on the PC and he played it on there. He doesn't have an Xbox. But anyways, he's been very vocal about it and very unhappy. And he's pretty easy to entertain, at least for a little bit. The thing about Yuli is if you're unable to entertain him for 30 minutes to an hour, you are the problem, because you can give him a few shitty tools and he'll have a blast for about 5 or 6 hours, half a day maybe, and then he'll get bored. He gets bored really easy, but he'll have a good time for a little bit and he'll do a bunch of shit. But when he is so upset about something and so bored that he says he needs to completely mod a game for it to be enjoyable, that's when you know it's a bad game.
And just to show you where the bar is to entertain Yuli, Satisfactory had that man in a chokehold for like a week. It had us all in a chokehold, and it has minimal combat. So the bar to be entertaining to Yuli is not high. It's not really that high. And if Starfield could not do it, Starfield is the problem. Now, there's stuff coming out and people are building these cool ships, and I'm like, that looks cool. Someone built Boba Fett's ship. That's
cool. The ships do look pretty cool.
But I think that's where they put all their effort. Because the other games we mentioned, No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, that's what they're missing. So it looks like Bethesda focused on what they're missing to be their selling point.
And you know, I know people really hate on Star Citizen. I don't blame them because Star Citizen,
early access for 10 years.
Early access for 10 plus years. You can purchase ships with real money and then rotate. I think you can purchase one ship at a time.
And no. You can buy all the ships you want.
I thought it was just one.
Your pack to start is the one. And you can upgrade that single ship.
Right, but if you can purchase with money and then you keep all the ships you purchase,
you keep
with money,
all those ships you purchase.
So here's the thing: like Star Citizen is definitely a game for nerds with money. Yes. If you're not a nerd and have lots of money, like fuck you money, then Starfield is gonna be, Star Citizen is gonna be a lot of fun for a little bit, but then you're quickly gonna realize how grindy it is to get any of those ships, and the resets are gonna piss you off.
Yeah, the world resets.
I'll defend Star Citizen on this. The game is buggy. It's hilariously buggy. However, unlike No Man's Sky and Starfield, you really can go anywhere the fuck you want. It is a huge ass world. It is quite literally, what is it? Like, I don't even know how many star systems are in that game with planets, but it's a lot. And
are we talking Star Citizen or
Star Citizen? Star Citizen. And you can go to any of those planets, any of those rocks, and you fly the whole way. There's no delayed animation. Like you can get pirated. Literally, you can do anything, and you can go to any part of any planet. And there are so many jobs. It has its own economy, for crying out loud.
We were literally a mining company. We became miners.
We became, and then you watched me blow up on the other side of the planet because I mined a rock wrong and my body flew, and then it was a whole thing. And then I think you got attacked by pirates after that. So
that's Star Citizen.
I was pretty mad too. That dude, I don't know if y'all do play Star Citizen. Mining
Quantanium
is not something that you do because you have money.
No.
You
No.
do it because you're really poor and you need
You
money.
do it because you're poor. You want money to buy that cool ship that you're only going to keep for 3 months.
And it costs a lot of, and it pays well for a reason. Let's put it that way. But the game is so big, it has its own economy. So I can at least say that in its own way, Star Citizen is successful. It has things about it we don't like. And I do think it's a little scammy with the, it's a little shady with the purchasing that you can do with the ships. But then again, you get to keep the ships. I could do without the resets that the game has sometimes when you, but overall, it's a fun game.
Hercules is gone.
Overall, it's a fun game. And the ships are pretty damn cool. Like the ships that you can get are damn cool, especially the fighters and the freighters. Very cool. But you can't build your own, though. Not that I'm unless they add that in the future. Can't build your own.
And that's where, Starfield comes in. You can build your own ships pretty much, so, and build whatever you want. And I think that's really cool. I gotta admit, I think that's a really cool feature. Not many games that I can think of do that. That's something that a lot of Starfaring gamers have wanted for years.
Well, let's be realistic though. Like for a console game to have servers big enough, like would they be able to have servers big enough to deal with the servers size needed to maintain something the size of Star Citizen? That's the thing. Like, I don't know if I wouldn't think there'd be a difference between PC exclusive games and then like,
I think they could, because Star Citizen is basically a privately owned game that is entirely crowdfunded. Yeah.
So maybe if it had like bigger servers, I don't know how that stuff works.
Yeah, Microsoft as a backer.
I was trying to suggest that it might be a little unfair to ask for a game of that size.
Absolutely.
And I don't even think you don't even pay a monthly fee for Star Citizen, surprisingly.
Unless you want to.
Like quite honestly, I'm very surprised there is no like World of Warcraft style monthly fee.
Yeah, you can,
because it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me to pay monthly for World of Warcraft because they maintain those servers, and they're for the most like they're good servers. They're top tier servers.
Well, like you said, nerds with money pay Star Citizen for those ships. We're talking $100 real money.
So maybe that's what's
because they've come out with new ships all the time, and people are like, "I need that ship."
Dude, the amount of people I've talked to in Star Citizen, like the random people I would talk to, and they were engineers or IT working at fucking tech firms. Like none of them had shitty jobs. Like I'm over here, I'm a nurse, and I'm like, I don't belong here. I don't think I'll take the small ship that's free. I don't think I should be here. But yeah, I mean, and who's to say I can't say I'm surprised with Starfield, but just like No Man's Sky, they have a chance to turn things around.
And they might. It will not be free.
And that's the thing. No Man's Sky did it for free. For free, No Man's Sky said, you know what? You're right. We said XYZ. We promised this, and we did not deliver. Boom. And then they turn around and deliver.
Which tells you how much money they raise, because unless all of those people, now I'm not saying that those people that work on it don't love their craft to be willingly working on it for free, but that is a high demanding task. Doing anything for a game is not easy work. So they must have raised a lot of money that they're still able to be paid for their work, to outsource or pay, however it's getting funded. Because and people are now buying fresh copies of No Man's Sky, but I don't think enough of that equates to what it costs to release all these updates. They just released another update. Like the space combat took another leap forward. The worlds are becoming more lush and full of life. They introduced a robot species, new weapons, new things for base building. That game is extensive, and my favorite experience, and it looked good on the first version. Now I have the PlayStation VR 2, and No Man's Sky VR is phenomenal. Like
it feels like it seems like it would be kind of buggy because it's such a big universe and it's online. It seems like it would be a little buggy, and it's not.
From the first one, it wasn't even buggy. when I played via the PlayStation VR, the first one. It was a little blurry in spots. But you could tell that they put the time necessary to make it work. And in the VR2, it's just like, for the sake of sounding like the Keanu Reeves, breathtaking. It's No Man's Sky, in my opinion, is still at the pinnacle of a space game. From 2016 to almost in like 3 years to almost 10 years later, it's become a valid space game. And I just wish they would create a world that had a city like Star Citizen. That's where Star Citizen has my draw. They have a populated world with cities that you can visit. You might not be able to walk the whole planet, but it's enough.
Those
there.
cities are pretty. Those cities take a whole half day of my actual day to fucking walk across too.
Yeah,
it's like
8.
I have to actually look at the subway sign. I got lost multiple times trying to find my way around. It's ridiculous, man.
I love that. Like, you had to read the subway signs to figure out how to get to the spaceport.
I'm like, this isn't New York. What are we doing? Fucking got lost in the game trying to fucking get back to my ship.
I think we had a mission where you had a bike and I was trying to pick you up outside in the freighter without getting shot down by the security system. That's what we loved about Star Citizen. Star Citizen motivated me to get a joystick for piloting. Just so we could survive. I will say,
the pirates. Like piloting those ships in Star Citizen in space is no joke. Like, it is incredibly difficult to do, even with a mouse and keyboard. I certainly could not do it. I certainly could not do it on just a controller.
Nope. I had to get a HOTAS.
Friggin' hard, dude. And I've been doing this for a long time, and I ended up almost getting the one you said you got, because you said it made such a big difference in your flight, like your flight capabilities. And that's what most people told me, is like you had to get one if you actually wanted to play Star Citizen. See what I mean? Star Citizen is a game for people with money.
Yeah, because I had to get the whole setup. I got the pedals, I got the throttle, the joystick.
I'm in the middle. Like you got to dedicate yourself to Star Citizen, man.
Yeah, but I think Starfield will improve. Unfortunately, it will not improve for free. I still am going to cut Bethesda half the slack, because it's a Bethesda game. You got a Bethesda game. The fans are the problem in this regard of why it's failing. And another point I'm going to prove before we wrap up the show. There's an account. This account, we won't give the name of the account. They don't deserve this clout. But there's an account on X, formerly Twitter, that irks the hell out of me and Warner's, and because they just see no wrong with Microsoft and anything that Microsoft does. And this account went on and they were begging people to give Starfield a good review because the PlayStation fanboys were giving it bad reviews, and people had to call it out and go, no, because unless we buy the game, we can't review the game. Literally, you have to own the game to leave a review via Steam, via Xbox. There's only 2 places you can get the game, and no one's going to go, where else are we going to drop a review for this game?
You can make a bullshit review on Google, I guess, but otherwise, like, Steam doesn't care about that. So if you're playing this game on PC, you have to buy the game to make a review. They don't let you. And why do they do that? To prevent review bombing. Because what did I say not too long ago? People use the term review bombing, and that's not even what's happening. They're just throwing that word out there now whenever they don't see the results they want.
And it's like now they had to justify their $100 purchase for a game that everyone was saying.
Me spend $100 for any game.
Yeah.
$70.
And everyone was saying, like, hey, it's probably not going to be that great.
$60 was pushing it, man. Don't even get me started on Call of Duty's bullshit recently. Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna get mad.
That's
again.
a whole episode in itself. But
$70 game.
I just want to end this and say, play the game if you like it. A lot of people love it. A lot of people are having. Maybe they're coping and they're convincing themselves they love it. Maybe they genuinely like it. Like I said, I haven't played the game, so all I know is the reviews that I've read. You and Yuli's experience with it. Well,
I mean, you don't
I'll
have
catch
to,
it when it goes on
you
sale.
don't have to play a game when you've been gaming for so long. Like, you don't have to necessarily play a game to watch it, watch other people, read reviews, and make a pretty good, like, understanding, viewpoint.
I lost interest when this streamer, I can't remember her name, she spent the entire night, 7 hours, flying to Pluto only to pass through it. Like it was a cardboard cutout, and she just passed through Pluto. There was nothing there. Like it wasn't even meant for you to go there. 7 hours, real time.
So mad
for that. And that's when I was like,
yeah,
I'm not getting it. I'm not spending that money. But guys, do you have Starfield? Are you enjoying Starfield? What do you think about it? How's your experience? Good, bad? Do you think it should have been cooking in the oven a little bit longer? Or do you think it's the space masterpiece of all games right now? Love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoy the podcast, you can check us out on osnattackmedia.com or support us on Patreon for more exclusive content. Patreon.com/OSN Media, and visit our merchandise shop at the osnmediashop.com. Anyway, that's all we got for this episode. You guys have been amazing. Take care of yourself and each other, and we'll catch all you wonderful people on the next podcast. Later.